Okay, another session at 5NL Zoom. Played a reasonable amount lately, and it's gone quite well. Still trying to get this HUD set up properly. So the stats don't cover people's names. Raise it up in the small blind. If you can hear all that clicking, it's me just getting those stats where I want to see them. So what happened here? Just one caller. I'll go for a small c-bet. Get a fold. Right. So 7-6 suited against the 3x raise against someone's got 60 big blinds. I think this is probably cool. 7-6 off, we fold. 7-6 suited, I think we can call. Yeah, I might have to start revising this. Not really getting many great flops with these suited connector hands. I think we're just going to check, see if we can get it to a showdown. Do turn 7. And not a very good river. We're going to check and just hope he has like queen 10 and just chooses not to bet. And he did. And what did he have? Let's take a look at what he had. Jack 10. Surprised he didn't have a stab at some point there, particularly on the river. I mean, I've shown no interest. So raise up with King Jack of Diamonds, don't flop anything, just backdoors, get 2 calls. Queen 8 of Clubs closing the action, I think we can call. And often this would be a good board to lead, but with 3 people in the pot, I think we're just gonna check. And King Jack here, just gonna give up. Picking up some 10s. And against a guy in the cutoff who raises, who's not a particularly big stack, we'll just make it 10. He very, very quickly calls. And we'll go for a small c-bet. Get called. Very, very bad turn. And we're just going to check. Hope he just has a hand like pocket 8s and just doesn't want to bluff with it. I always wonder if I want to bluff myself now, but I'm not sure what I would get to fold. If he had like queen jack with no spade, we're going to check and just hope that he has the kind of hand I mentioned before. And apparently he does. So that was fortunate because obviously we couldn't call anything. Ace 10 of clubs. Okay, so fortunate to win that hand. A couple of pocket pairs here. We'll go through a small c-bet with the jacks. And with 10s, could 4-bet this. It's not a play I do very often. This is kind of why this has been a problem lately. These types of hands like 9s and 10s just constantly getting these kind of flops, and it really does make them very, very tricky to play. He checks back. We're definitely not going to bet. We're going to hope that we can get to a showdown. He can have hands like suited aces or ace jack, or even hands like 9s or 8s. Might even have a hand like it could have a hand like ace queen that might play this way. We're just going to check and hope that we're winning. Could also have like pocket jacks. Okay, good, good. Pocket 10s. The flops aren't working out, but fortunately our opponents are playing sufficiently passively. Ace jack. Yeah, 10 on the river might have been nice, but would have been a bit greedy. So it'll be 300 hands. Seems to be what I've done in most of my videos. Videos got somewhere between 10 and 20 views, which is okay. Ace 10 will call. And King 4 even to a min raise, we'll just let it go. Yeah, I think Ace 10 off here. With a heart, I think we call raise, but not without. King Jack of clubs, get called, and our two players don't flop anything. I'm often reluctant to c-bet into two people. Just think it's going to be a mistake much of the time. Here, I guess, should we bet? Pocket pairs won't fold, ace-highs may fold. Queen Jack will call against the min open. Yeah, that may have been a mistake by me. I think I might have been able to bet the turn there. Queen Jack with a club here, I think we can go ahead and take one off. And we will lead the turn on the club card. Min raise in position, I tend just to call. Kind of a stinky spot. We have middle pair, but we don't have a club. Loads of lousy turn cards. Be cautious, just my nature. A couple of opens from the small blind. Three bet. I think I got three bet by this player earlier, but we will let it go. Can't really read too much into it if you get three bet twice by somebody. It just could be that they had kings both times. There's no way of knowing. But if you get three bet like a lot more than that, you start to think you're getting picked on. And we'll go for three bet here with the ace five of spades. Immediately get punished. Ginormous. Just someone who just smashed the pot button. Pretty obviously, just have to throw it away. I mean, that's a little bit loose, but we're looking for three bets. It's something in my stats I've noticed that my aggression pre-flop isn't quite as much as it should be. And go for a c-bet with the ace king here. Snap call, get a very nice turn card. Then we can bet quite big. If he has hands like king jack, king queen, queen jack, all those kinds of hands are going to continue to call, so we'll just bet pretty large. And absolutely glorious river. We're going to do this because I don't think if he has a king, then I just don't think he's going to be able to fold it. So we will go. We'll be very, very greedy and go for the max. And that worked out lovely, didn't it? Worked out absolutely lovely. Cards there cooperated to absolute perfection. Sometimes it does happen. Yeah, you just sit here, play tight, and then the cards occasionally just fall in your lap. 10-8 off to a min raise, probably just about strong and full, 3.4 to 1. We'll make up with a 6-7. And we'll go for a one big blind bet on the right. To achieve what? Who knows? Maybe we'll just yeah, it was stupid. We'll just throw away the 6-7. Yeah, that was dumb. Just throw it away. And call with the twos, or the deuces. A play that might need to be revised as it's just so difficult to play when you don't flop a deuce. Even here, like this is a ball that he'll miss a lot. There's just not much we can really do with it. Jack ten of spades. We'll go for a three bet with it. Again, this might be a smidge loose. I'm trying to open up my pre-flop game a bit. Trying to open up in terms of three betting a little bit more. I think my opening amounts are fine. Seem to be going, my VPIP is like 26. So I think that's okay. On the right here, pretty clear. Just going to be check calling. Don't want to bloat the pot. It's not a great card. And clearly not a very good river. I don't know whether I should block. I think we'll go for just a little block. And clearly we're going to fold to a raise. It's such a shockingly shite river. Checking with the queen six in the big blind. It's happened a bit more lately, like people just limping in and getting free flops with trash from the blinds. But not going to do anything with it. Again, people limping in, so we're getting a pretty cheap ball flop with queen nine off. Of course, the difficulty is you then hit a queen, and kind of what do you do with it? It's a hand that you otherwise would not have wanted to play. Not the turn card we were hoping for. We'll go for three bet here with the king 10 suited. I'm just going to fold the queen nine. Like I say, you don't want to start dribbling chips away with a hand that you didn't actually want to play. Getting four bet a bit more, and people's four bet sizing seems to be it seems to be huge. I often seen it. That's not quite the pot button. I think that's the pot button and a bit more. So 129 hands into this session, or a little bit more, 130 hands, and all really just the one hand, the ace king hand, which we won a big pot with. Other than that, pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Again, another guy limping in. Jack five off. Probably should just fold. But you just think, just in case you hit something absolutely massive, you want to see a flop. Limping in with queen deuce. Eh? Jack 4 suited in position. We will make the call. And I'm totally dry with backdoor hearts, backdoor straight draw. We could call here. I'm trying to avoid getting involved into stupid bluffs with complete garbage, which is a problem I used to have. You just start fighting over trivial pots and end up dumping in loads of chips with nonsense. So I've tried to steer away from doing that. But it does sometimes mean my fold to c-bet percentage. I don't know what it should be. I don't know whether mine's probably a little bit too high. Okay, Jack 10 off. Is this the hand we want to do a 4-bet bluff with? I like to have an ace in my hand or a king queen kind of hand to do a 4-bet bluff with, just so that you have some blockers. Jack 10 seems probably not quite the hand you want to do it with. Well, we get 3-bet here when we've got holding threes. It's a very small 3-bet, and this guy is stats are really active. So we in position we can just take a flop. And now we're just going to give up. Just open a bit smaller when the person's playing a slightly smaller stack. A lot of the sessions lately have been like this, like just a sort of one or two interesting hands, and then just hundreds and hundreds of hands of nothingness. 7-4 of diamonds here, getting 5-1, probably just about worth calling with. That's not exactly a flop that was worth much for me. I don't fold this straight away, just in case this guy calls and we can get a lot of people calling. Then a hand like deuces becomes a hand you want to come along with. Okay, ace king of clubs. The obvious spot to raise. And another one over here with the tens. And 2 folds. It's not a disaster, but it doesn't make for the most interesting viewing. I want to try and work in some 3-bets from the big blind. It's just working out which hands to do it with. And on this board, we are definitely going to bet. I think he's going to hate this a lot. 2 big cards can never continue on this. King 4 of spades. That's certainly an interesting flop, isn't it? It's the half pot c-bet. Go ahead and call. Go ahead and turn trips. You're looking for the flush card, then you hit a card like that. You're like, well, that's pretty good. I don't think he's checking back a hand here that we're going to lose to. He can have a hand like Jack 10. He could have had aces full. So if we get raised here, we may have to fold. But I think we can just go for a value bet and get called by ace X a lot. And he just folds sort of immediately. King Queen. This guy doesn't have a huge stack. I don't necessarily want to squeeze and get jammed on, so we'll just call. And again, not a very good board for us. We'll go for a third. We can go for a third as 2 people. Yeah, well, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Yeah. Nice when they both quickly fold when you've got absolutely nothing. Open the queen eight of spades, get called, get a very exciting flop. Got the queen high flush draw, we've got an inside straight draw, get called. Now we're double gutted. I think we're going to get called quite a bit here. But we'll still keep betting. Put pressure on hands like a 7 or a 9. Don't want to get raised particularly. Can't always just check. So Iron Mike in the big blind calls us, and we get another very very favourable flop. Fives in position. We will make the call. And I'm going to bet small here with my fives just to get protection. If he does have hands like King Jack, King 10, yeah, he can go away. That's not a great card here with the 5. 7, 9 gets there. So it's like 6, 5, 8, 5, make 2 pair, but I think we'll continue to bet. And to a min raise on the left with King 4, we'll make the call. And when he checks back, I think he has a lot of hands that are not going to want to continue. Yeah. It's the consistent theme I've found at this stake is that checking back ranges just not very well protected. I don't think it means that you can just blast willy-nilly on absolutely every turn card, but I think it means you can be pretty liberal with your blasting. We'll go for 3 here. And we'll go for a 3 bet here. And we don't flop anything. 2 overs, backdoor diamonds with the queen of diamonds. It's okay, sometimes go for a check. And we'll go for a squeeze play here with the queens, playing it to 15. And we're just going to try and get our ace queen to a showdown. Oh, we get cold called. And he shoves, blimey. He didn't even think about that. Let's check the ace queen. His queen's a hand. We're probably going to get to see what he's got. He didn't even think, did he? I think he would at least ponder with hands like 10s and jacks. I think the other guy's going to call, so we will get to see. And I'm a fucking moron. I'm a fucking moron whose balls have just shriveled to the size of raisins. As it happens, I would have lost, so I guess then it makes my play good. Oh well. We did at least get to see what he had and find that sometimes I just need to grab my bollocks and actually put the chips in. And grab my bollocks at the moment. I'm not even sure there's anything there. Mind you, King 9 of clubs. King 9 of clubs. And the other guy had 4-10. Yeah, let's go back and just stick some labels on those guys. After we raise with our 6s and raise with the 5s. We get around to it. Get a nice board for pocket 5s. We'll put in a slightly larger c-bet to protect them. Get called. I'm going for a check call now. He's going to have hands like 7s and 8s quite a bit. It's a large bet. We're not going to know what to do on a lot of rivers. Maybe I'm just getting nittier and nittier. Can have a couple of clubs. We're going to call. I was leaning towards fold, but we decided to call, and that's a really shit river. And we did win. So what was he floating with? Was it pocket threes, maybe? Ace five of hearts. Okay, so he did have the flush draw. He just had the backdoor hearts. Yeah, three bet. And with the suited the ace queen, I don't want to waste the equity with this by four bet and then fall into a raise, so we will just call. And certainly not going to fold to a single bet. And we'll go for one bet with our five high on the right. Okay, that works. And the ace queen, unfortunately, we've got absolutely nothing. He's blasting away, so we'll give it up. I'm trying to find that hand with the guy at the king nine. Fold there, raise here. There it is. Okay. And we'll bet with the nine here. I'm going to bet quite large now. I think we can probably go a bit bigger than that. Now, can we bet for value, or is this getting a little bit too thin? I guess we will go for some finish value. And we'll bet top set on the right. Get raised, and we've probably overplayed this a little bit. It's a huge raise as well. So we went for a value bet. I don't think we're ever really looking at a bluff here. And we could have missed clubs, but 5-7 gets there, 7-10 gets there. There were hands that already beat us. We'll give it up. Raise it up with the deuce five of hearts. Get actually a pretty decent board for the deuce five of hearts. We'll bet R6. So unfortunately, we didn't get any action. We had our set of eights a moment ago. This guy just open shoves under the gun for 15 big blinds. If everyone else folds, I think we will call with this. I think this just could be some random hand. King, queen. Okay, so we're flipping. And we'll run it, shall we? And we lose. Get three bet. We raise very loose on the button. That's something I've started doing, just raising very wide on the button because the blinds are just a little bit too tight. When you do get three bet, you have to back off, particularly with hands like queen eight off, which is just trap. Oof. Right, so the king 10. Get called. And we'll go for a check this time. Don't necessarily need to bet, not have to protect against much. It's kind of weird. It shouldn't be a board that he loves. If he has a hand that really likes this board, he should be three betting pre. So we're going to call. Queen Jack of Spades, we kept this mini three bet here. I'm going to continue to call with the king 10. Yes, he can have rag aces, but you don't see people bluffing on these kind of boards very often, but we are going to continue. Looks like we win. We're going to call with our queen jack. This gets dicey. If he fires big here, we are probably just going to have to fold. Yeah. Fires large. We've got a guy behind us. What does the guy with the king 10 have? Oh, he had a diamond draw. Kind of sucks a bit here, but we're going to have to fold. The guy behind us can also have a 6, so we don't want to just start dumping chips in. So there's another factor with this minuscule 3-bet pre-flop, min 3-bet. That seems to mean different things for different people. But a few times lately, I've noticed players, when they've done it, have had extremely strong hands. So I don't know if that's a pattern. I don't know if that's a thing, but of course, it's weird play. I'm just trying to work out what it means. Okay. Jack 10 off to a 3x raise. I think it's just about strong enough to call with. Large c-bet on an ace-high board. I do think we should be calling once. Look at his stats. His stats are actually his stats are so tight. We'll just get rid of it. It's probably a bit too weak, but I'm trying to use these stats for something. And if someone's very tight and they start blasting on an ace high board, usually they just have an ace. 3-bet from the small blind with the ace king. Jack of clubs. Can we 3-bet with this type of hand? I kind of like to use it as a call. 6, 7 of hearts, raise, and then 3-bet, called 4-bet, so we'll get rid of it. He immediately folds. We're continuing to call here, top pair, open ender. Good chance we might not be winning here, so we might need some improvement on this river. We get weird improvement. Top 2 pair, but it's obviously not a great card. No, we can't value that. Wow. Wow. He's probably relieved there just to see that he'd won, because he'd have absolutely loathed that river. It was sort of dribbled away a little bit on the right after that one great hand. Other than that, it's not gone all that well. It's about 25 more hands. Let's hope we can have an interesting spot in there somewhere. Maybe we'll go for a 3-bet here with a7 suited. This is probably a bit too loose. We do get a very nice board for our range and a pretty nice board for our hand too with the nut flush draw. Start off with a small bet. Take it down. And on the board that dry, we'll just c-bet for a third. We'll just check and probably give up on this board. We'll check on this turn. We don't really want to bet and get raised. Now I guess we can go for some very small value. Just hoping like he's curious with a hand like pocket fives, just can't help himself but throw in the two big blinds. 10 more hands. He opens the button. We get a 3-bet. And yeah, we'll just go for a small c-bet on this board. Get called. And do a lot of checking here. If I don't have a hand, I'll often check. So now that we've actually got one, I will check. And we're not guaranteed to have the best hand here. He can certainly have us beat. And we'll just bet now half pot. Quickly cooled, and did we cost ourselves chips by not firing on the turn? Ace-9. Would he have gone 3 streets with that? I don't know. Maybe. But we did win the hand. Which is nice. Okay. Just sit out next big blind on both tables. And we'll call it a video. We'll raise it up with the old Jack-9 of diamonds. Guy in the big blind here is the King-9 of clubs man from earlier, when I had the 2 queens and pussied out. Okay, we're all done on that table. As you can see from the number of hands on this table, I did play some hands earlier, but I didn't record them. I was up about half a buy-in. All right, so session's over. So what have we got on the table? 1480, 1520, 1528, so 528. So we're up just a little bit over a buy-in. Reasonable session. Pretty much all of that was just the one hand with ace-king. A few other spots, but nothing too major, too interesting. But if anyone's still watching, hope you enjoyed it. And then there'll be more videos to come, regardless of the number of views. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.